Welcome to This Explainer. Today we're unpacking some massive insights from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman about the exact trajectory of artificial general intelligence. I mean, what does AGI actually mean for humanity? Well, we are looking straight at a future that promises literally unimaginable abundance, but also some pretty unprecedented existential challenges. Let's get right into it. So, we really need to start with this absolutely massive question. What actually happens to us when the cost of intelligence drops to zero? To figure that out, we're going to map out how AGI isn't just some sudden, out of the blue glitch in the matrix. Actually, it's the ultimate master key. It is going to fundamentally alter how we live, how we work, and believe it or not, how we even govern ourselves. Part 1. The Continuous Revolution. You know, to truly grasp where we're heading, we have to take a quick look at where we've been. Humanity has steadily moved from mastering agriculture, just to survive, right? Then to building giant machines in the 1800s, and then to scaling massive computer networks. So when you look at it that way, the AI revolution isn't an anomaly at all. It's really just the next logical, continuous step in the human story. And that brings us to AGI. To reach a state of infinite abundance, we absolutely need artificial general intelligence. Altman believes that driving the cost of intelligence down to near zero is going to transform our lives in the best way possible. Think about the advent of cheap energy, or the crazy leaps we made in modern medicine. Imagine a world where the rate of scientific discovery is just exponentially accelerated. Part 2. The economic shockwave. Okay, but obviously, progress brings disruption, and the biggest elephant in the room right now is our jobs. It's wild to think about, but 10 years ago, everyone basically assumed AI would replace physical blue-collar labor first, right? Then maybe cognitive tasks, and then lastly, human creativity. But we are actually witnessing a complete paradigm flip. AI is mastering creative tasks, like writing and generating images, first, and honestly, we're actually furthest away from replacing physical blue-collar labor. So, as a lot of these cognitive and creative jobs get eliminated, how do we handle the economic vacuum? Well, universal basic income, or UBI, is the solution you hear about all the time. But here's the thing. While UBI might soften the immediate economic blow by, giving everyone a financial cushion, Altman points out that it really only acts as a band-aid. It doesn't solve a much deeper human psychological need. Because at the end of the day, humans crave agency. We want self-determination, status, and community. And let's be real, just getting a monthly check doesn't fulfill that. So instead, he proposes this fascinating system of fractional ownership. Imagine if every single person owned, say, a 1/8 billion slice of the AGI system itself. Giving people actual voting rights and true ownership over these systems, that is far more meaningful and empowering than just a basic income. Part 3. Safe AGI and Governance. Managing a system with this much power requires a meticulously planned safety matrix. With AGI, you're essentially looking at two main factors: the timeline to its creation and the speed of its takeoff once it's here. Altman believes the absolute safest quadrant, and fortunately the one we seem to be heading forward, is a short timeline to creation combined with a slow, gradual takeoff speed. That gradual pace is absolutely crucial because it gives society the time we need to adjust, build guardrails, and really co-design our future together. Make no mistake, though, the stakes here are phenomenally high. Altman actually compares the current need for global AI regulation and public consciousness to the dawn of the nuclear age. The consequences of getting this wrong are severe. So unprecedented global cooperation isn't just a nice idea anymore. It's absolutely non-negotiable. And this need for flawless governance leads to a truly fascinating, if slightly wild, thought experiment: a president AI. Seriously, imagine an unbiased system that could perfectly and objectively optimize the collective preferences of humanity. We're talking about a system completely free from the massive bottlenecks of dark money, special interests, and political corruption. It's a really provocative concept to wrap your head around. Part 4. Upgrading the human machine. Now, if technology reaches a point where it can actually govern better than we can, we kind of have to look at upgrading ourselves, right? We're on a path that starts pretty simply. Step 1 is just external headsets capable of reading our inner monologues, sort of the crude, slow Pong phase of brain-computer interfaces. But inevitably, as this tech gets better, it leads straight toward deep, immersive biological integration, neural implants. I mean, we're already practically tethered to our phones anyway. This is really just closing the physical gap. But why would we even want to merge? Well, Because right now, our progress is heavily limited by our biological bottlenecks. We are essentially operating in these primal monkey bodies, completely governed by ancient tribal reward systems that just constantly drive us to conflict. Add to that the modern burdens of surging social media anxiety and environmental toxins, like microplastics acting as endocrine disruptors, and suddenly our biology starts looking like a really fragile, outdated operating system. And this right here presents a massive philosophical dilemma. If we do merge with AI, should we artificially raise our empathy? Should we technologically edit out the aggressive, territorial tendencies that cause war and emotional violence in the first place? I mean, we could potentially just code out our darkest impulses entirely. Interestingly, though, Altman pushes back pretty heavily on the idea of creating a totally friction-free, perfectly medicated utopia. He argues that evolutionary conflict, the act of striving, and our inherent drive to conquer new frontiers are absolutely essential to the human story. They drive our progress. If we edit out all of our struggle, we might accidentally edit out our humanity along with it. Part 5, our transcendent future. This tension between our biological past and our highly technological future forces us to pause and wonder something pretty mind-bending. Is humanity's ultimate destiny merely to serve as a biological cocoon? Are we just the temporary scaffolding being used to build a transcendent, post-biological, godlike intelligence that will eventually outlive us and explore the universe? This rapid leap in our capabilities also completely turbocharges discussions around simulation theory. Think about it. If an AGI eventually gains the incredible computational power needed to simulate entire universes, statistical probability heavily suggests we might not even be in base reality right now. We could very well just be living inside a simulation, running the exact historical era right before AGI's birth. It is entirely possible that we are the final generation forced to grapple with purely biological limitations. We might literally be the last humans who have to deal with our current iterations of disease, anxiety, and primal conflict before we merge into an entirely new form of existence. But through all this uncertainty, we have to remember one thing. AGI isn't some alien invasion dropping out of the sky. It is the natural, inevitable consequence of our long human story. We inherently design better tools, and we adapt to seemingly unimaginable magic, like the smartphone, almost instantly. AGI is really just the ultimate product of our relentless human curiosity. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with one final, incredibly provocative thought. If AGI successfully solves our economy, perfects our governance, and even transcends our biological limits, when the cost of intelligence drops to absolute zero, how will you find meaning in your life? What will you choose to do with your infinite abundance? Thank you so much for joining us, and keep questioning the future.